Good morning, my friends. Happy Friday to you. It is Friday, September 20th, 2024, and I have a great show for you today because although we talk about the fact that we are the joy, sometimes we need a little intervention between one and another. And we're going to talk about it today as we talk about pairing things with joy. So let's get started with an all new episode right now. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is Friday, September 20th, 2024. It is wild for me to say that. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of talking about the date that it is and how fast time is going and all that because we've talked about that a million times. However, I'm feeling it this morning. Every time I read the date from here through the rest of the year, I'm going to be shocked, just FYI. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and this is Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. I'm really excited to be here with you today. And I'm wearing my new kid shirt because I heard news this morning. It came out last night, but I heard news this morning that New Kids on the Block is doing a Vegas residency. Now, I've been to Vegas a couple of times, but I've never been to a show out there. And you never know, this could be the one that gets me to go to go back out there and do another show. Go to my first show in Vegas, and but go back out to Vegas. It's been a long time, so maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But congratulations to my new kids, my precious new kids. And I'm glad that they're doing a residency. They seem very excited about it. I know it's going to take a lot of energy to do a big show like that, but one of the other ones that I've always wanted to see in Vegas is Barry Manilow, because y'all know I love some Barry Manilow. So but he's coming out here as well, I think in New York, but yeah, I don't know. Something about a Vegas show. It's really interesting. So wearing the shirt today, wearing the shirt. We've got a great show for you today. I want you guys to do me a favor, really quick check-in. If you haven't already, let me know where you're joining from. What is bringing you joy today? And let's get started with the morning brew. Are you awake yet? I stand by this, man. It's taken me a little bit longer than normal to wake up lately, but I am excited because it won't be long before we have the time change, and I love the fall time change. I know that most of you do not, but I love it because I'm an early bird and it helps me keep waking up at an earlier hour when we have the fall time change. A lot of people don't like it because of the light, but I don't do well with light anyway because of my eyes. And so it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. On today's show, during our daily uplift, we're going to talk about pairing things with joy. And I think this conversation is really important to have. I'm going to tell you about what happened with me yesterday. You guys know I'm nothing if not honest on this show. So I'm going to tell you what happened to me yesterday and why I feel like this topic of pairing things with joy is so important, because ultimately I want you guys to, I invite you on this show to be with the concept that you are the joy. But when we're surrounded by people and or circumstances that challenge us being able to reach into that joy, sometimes it can be helpful to keep it super simple. And that's a little, technique that I'm going to talk about with you today. So we're going to do that on the show. We've got birthdays. We're going to start out celebrating today, letting you know what's national days are happening, and we'll have some fun with that. But let me check in with the comments first and foremost. Needing some joy today. I'm so glad you're here, Miss Rhonda from Spirit Sessions. Brittany says, hey, everyone, happy Friday. Good to see you guys. There's Miss Nancy. Good morning, everyone. Feeling fresh from the Breakthrough Gym. Yes, we have a virtual gym. If you have not been there, you can go and visit all of our virtual spaces at the Breakthrough Show Network.club, and you can check out all of the spaces we have there, including the gym, which we meet at. This morning, I did not do my normal gym routine here because I had to go to the store. So I did put a little pep in my step as I went to the grocery store this morning, and I felt it. I had that you could get a little workout anywhere, everybody, just FYI. Going to check in. There's Miss Cat. Happy Friday. Good to see you joining all the way across the pond in Kilmarnock, Scotland. took me a minute for my brain to work there. I require cold showers just to get to the gym and see my crew. I love it. I love it. So we've got a great show on tap for you today. I'm glad you are here, and we're going to kick it off by celebrating today, starting out with what national days there are, because these are always super fun. There's always something to celebrate, which I appreciate about life. And so nationaldaycalendar.com is always my go-to for checking out what are the things that we can celebrate. Because sometimes, you wake up, there's not anybody's birthday, it's not a holiday, but maybe you're like, damn it, I just want to celebrate something. So nationaldaycalendar.com, go check it out. There's also there's pages that have international ones as well for our friends overseas, or in Canada or other places in the world. So there, you can go check that out as well. But couple things today. One, there's a couple foods, so I hope you've got a snack prepared. It's National Fried Rice Day and National Pepperoni Pizza Day. Do you like them both? Is question number one. Do you like them both? And question number two is, would you rather have fried rice or pepperoni pizza? Let me know which one you would prefer. It's also, if you need a drink to go with it, National Punch Day. Now, I miss the days of punch. Do you guys remember? Because I don't see this a lot anymore. When I go to parties now, someone will have a cooler or a bar, because we're adults now, but somebody will usually have a cooler that's like filled with cans of drinks. But I miss the parties where my grandma would make a nice big bowl of punch. You mix different things together. She used to make this one punch that was so good, and she would put sherbet in it, and I love some sherbet. And so I don't know. I miss that. I miss punch. Let me know if you guys like punch. When's the last time you had punch? I think that's the question I want to get to, because I think it's been I make some occasionally, like on Christmas and stuff, for the kids to go with breakfast. I made like a cranberry, I think it was some sort of cranberry punch one Christmas that was really, really good. But you can do a punch like alcoholic or non-alcoholic. I don't know. Maybe that changed with I don't know, because I was gonna say maybe it changed with COVID, but I don't even before that, no, it's been like a long time since I've seen people doing the punch thing, but I love punch. And so punch is usually interpreted different ways by different people, but um you put things together into some sort of mixture. Usually it's a combination of fruit juice and a carbonated beverage, the colorful bubbly drink it makes for parties. And so I really enjoy it, but let me know if you guys enjoy the punch as well. um Brittany is saying, my humor this morning is bringing me joy. Sense of humor always gets me through tough times. I love that. I love that. It's a local holiday there in Scotland, so she's off till Tuesday, Kat says. Love that. Even the vegan pepperoni pizza is so good. You're not really a fan of fried rice, Nancy? Let me know. I would always have pizza over fried rice. Love me some good pizza. Vegan, yes. So I don't know that I could pick. I really do love both. I really do. Last punch I made had sherbet, champagne, and ginger ale, pineapple juice. It was yummy, but boy, just typing this has lots of sugar. I'm not saying it's not without sugar. However, um, yeah, I don't know. I love some punch. So apparently, the word punch is a loan word from Hindi panch, which means five. Originally, punch was made with five ingredients: alcohol, sugar, lemon, water, and tea or spices. So this is really interesting. I did not know this. And so there's lots of, I will say this, any of the bottled fruit punches never thrilled me at all growing up, like Hawaiian punch and things like that. I never liked the taste of it at all. Um and so I much prefer like where you take all the mixture, like Nancy was talking about with the ginger ale, the sherbet, and the juice and all. Yeah, it's a lot of sugar, but it's meant for special occasions. Meant for special occasions. Um Nancy said, "Where's Leah? I'd love to hear her choice." By the way, while we're on this topic, Leah was so many of you messaged me after Wednesday's show and we're so excited to see Leah on the screen and you just loved having her on the show. So I read her all the messages that you guys sent me and she was just thrilled. She's like, "When are we doing again?" So she will be back for sure. And I appreciate you all sending her so much love because she really just she had such a great time on the show and she appreciated all of you guys watching. Let's see what else is going on here. Rhonda said punch always meant cranberry juice, ginger ale, and orange juice or lemonade. Yeah, I think I've had one like that too, with just cranberry juice, ginger ale, and orange juice. Now, this is not punch, but my great grandfather, I was talking to somebody, to my kids about this the other day, because every time we order Chinese from down the street, she always puts a ginger ale in there because we order often, probably every other week or so we'll order Chinese because fried rice. And so she always puts a ginger ale in there, and we happen to have some cider from Clyde Cider Mill in Mystic, Connecticut, which is back open, and it's my favorite time of year. And so I had the kids mix the ginger ale and the apple juice. My great grandfather used to do that all the time, and he would always serve me the half ginger ale and my favorite drink. Have any of you ever had the half and half ginger ale and apple juice, and do you enjoy it? Did anybody ever have that? I love it, and now my kids love it too because they're like, "Oh my god, this is so good." So now they're always wanting to make sure when we get ginger ale that we always have apple cider or apple juice in the house, because my grandfather used to do that. I think he kept it simple though. It was like Canada Dry and ginger ale and just like Mott's apple juice, like really simple. I'm sure he wouldn't have done like the fancy Clyde cider or whatever, but it really is delicious. So I love some ginger ale and apple juice, not punch, but close enough for what it is. Let's get into the daily uplift today, which is our topic: to pair it with joy. Hey guys, so yesterday I had my follow-up doctor's appointment, and I I hope that the way that I have presented it to you in the past has been very clear. So I have had throughout my life a lot of medical trauma. And it's one of the things I feel like the way I kind of describe it is it's my kryptonite, because the way that I show up in literally every other area of my life is so wildly different from when I have to show up to like a medical appointment. Okay. And because of the traumas that I've been through with the things with the in the medical world and dental world, it's all medical in my mind. So just know when I say medical, I mean medical and dental. And so it's challenging for me. It's really, really hard because I have so much joy and peace and love and confidence in many other areas, and medical stuff is not it. It really is my kryptonite. And I have shared with my doctor before that the person that they get when I come in for appointments is so wildly different from the person that I am outside of those appointments. And it's not even something that, like, I've worked through so many different therapy things throughout the years and really trying to make an effort. I'm very hyper aware of where it comes from, where the fears come from, where the trauma comes from. And sometimes an awareness, you think that an awareness is going to be the cure, but outside of awareness, there sometimes has to be actions that take, especially when you're dealing with something like PTSD, which is, for anybody that doesn't know, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. So when you're dealing with PTSD, it's like something else existing outside of you. That's the best way that I can describe it, because it really is it takes you to a different place. So at any rate, I had my doctor's appointment yesterday, and again, it exhausted me. It was really, really, really tough. But we had the opportunity to dig in a little bit to the anxiety and the PTSD that happens with me with the medical things. And so it got me really thinking, though, about the show and what my goals are with the show, what we talk about, how we talk about it. And there's a few things that I wanted to say. One is that I understand that everybody is going to watch Project Joy through the lens of wherever they're at on their journey. Each and every one of you is going to process everything I say here on the show very, very differently. And there may be some things that I say here that you maybe you don't resonate with at all, and that's fine. And sometimes that's because it could be because you don't agree, but a lot of times it's because we're just at different places, and that's okay. And so I was thinking about, okay, what is the joy that I can experience from what happened yesterday, and with my usual responses to things when I go to these appointments. And the joy for me yesterday came in that even though the appointment didn't go as I would have wanted it to go, meaning for me, I didn't stay as calm as I would have liked to stay. I make notes before I go to the doctor, so I kind of stay on task, and I couldn't get through the notes the way that I wanted to. So there was a lot of expectation that I have on myself for when I go, because that's the way that I'm able to stay calm. But I couldn't stay calm through that yesterday. So the joy for me, though, came on reflection late last night and into this morning of going, okay, it needed to go that way, because then my practitioners, my doctors, are able to see in real time what my reaction is. It's very different from me going, oh, well, I have a lot of trauma and I kind of get worked up. There's a difference between that and actually seeing someone get physically worked up about whatever's going on. And so it needed to happen that way in order for them to see, okay, this is what she means. This is what she's talking about. And so even though it didn't go how I wanted it to go, there's still that I have a deep gratitude and appreciation today that it went that way, because I needed it helped. It helped in overall, like, viewing and diagnosis and all of that. So what the other thing is that when I go to these appointments, so the joy came for me afterwards, like the joy of the experience, not the joy that I know that exists within me, but the joy of the experience came for me afterwards on reflection of going, hey, even though it didn't go the way you wanted it to go, it needed to happen in that way. But one of the things that I do to set myself up is I make it I make it into the joy that I want it to be, if that makes sense to you guys. And what I mean by that is, so my doctor is about 40 minutes away from where we live, and when I could do a virtual appointment. It's always more helpful for me to be in a room with a person face to face with, it's different. You're feeling the energy, all of that. And so instead of doing the virtual appointment, I'll do it in person. And when I go to do it in person, I also make it a point to go see Patrick Blanchett, which you guys saw that I had on the Breakthrough Show fairly recently, who is my personal mushroom guy in Prospect, Connecticut. So we purposely make it a point to go get mushrooms, and we purposely make it a point to go eat at a Roy Thai Garden in Middletown, which is my Le Patron. Why do I do those things? Why do I make it a whole to do and a whole day, like half a day of things? Because I have to pair it with things that bring me joy. If I know that I'm about to step in a situation that I don't want to do, I'm going to do it because I need to do it and it's important. We all have those things in life, whether it's going to the doctors or doing the dishes. We all have those things that we need to do. And when we think about doing it, the last thing that we think about is joy. Right? Let me know what some of those things are for you in the comments, whether it's going to the doctor, doing the dishes, cleaning your house, running errands. Maybe it's making phone calls. Maybe you don't like to make phone calls with people. Maybe it's the day you pay bills. What are those things that when you think about that you have to do in life, but doesn't necessarily make you think of joy? So my trick that I do is pairing those things with joy. So if I know that going to the doctors is going to cause me a lot of stress for obvious reasons, then I'm going to pair it with things that make me happy, that bring a smile to my face, that make me feel loved and seen and heard and appreciated, and all of these things. So I think a big step for me was finding a practitioner that is amazing as my doctor's office is. My doctor and the nurses are just, I can't say enough. I cannot say enough of good things. The fact that they 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 let me it's so patient led, and it's so just, I just appreciate them listening the way that they listen to me. But I pair it with things, I do it with things that I know I'm going to love. So no matter how that appointment goes, I am guaranteed in the same thing, in the same time frame, to be doing something that I really love and that brings me so much joy. No matter how things turn out with the doctors, my memory isn't going to be on the doctor's appointment. My memory is going to be, I got to do these amazing things that I love so much. I got to get a hug from LePat. I got to give Patrick a thank you note for being on the show. I got to get delicious mushrooms and taste delicious food and spend time with my husband, and got to do all of these things. And my focus is no longer on that thing that brings me stress and is challenging for me. And so this is a big tip that I wanted to share with you guys today. It's so important, and it has been so meaningful in my own life when I'm going through things that are really challenging for me, to go, okay, I know this is going to be challenging. So how can I make this into something that feels good? That's going to give me a good memory, that's going to make me feel better about the situation. And it's just so helpful. And so I hope that that's helpful for someone today out there, because as much as I want to come on here and say, I invite all of you to understand that the joy is within you, that no matter what circumstance or situation that you are in, that it should just be easy to tap into that joy. It's not always easy. We all have our own kryptonite. We all have our own things that are challenging for us. And so, in those times, it can be so helpful to be intentional and say, what can I pair this with that's going to give me a different outlook? on what I'm about to experience? What can I pair this with that at the end of all of this, it's going to make me feel so good? And it's not that the joy doesn't exist within you. It's just that sometimes it's harder to tap into. It's life. It's the way that life is. The key is to find these tools like pairing things with joy that you can use in the tough situations to go, okay, I can be proactive about this and I can say, I'm going to make this day into what I want it to be, even if it doesn't turn out to look like how I hoped it would look, which we all have those expectations as well. Um, Brittany said, I agree. I used to hide away, but the more I surround myself with things that bring me joy, it allows me to tap into my own joy more. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like to be able to it's proactive to surround yourself with people and things like that so that you feel better about the situation at hand. Good morning, Diana. Good to see you today. Sharon said, way to joy. This is so powerful when we come to ahas like this and share more joy. Hugs. Love you, Miss Sharon. Good to see you today. So that's my biggest tool that I want to share with you guys today. It's okay to come on to the show if you're having a bad day and you hear me say something to the effect of, you are the joy, and you're not feeling it. It's okay. It's okay if you come on and you're like, Jessica's full of crap today. I don't feel it within me. I'm going to tell you that I'm not full of crap, that the joy still lives within you. However, I totally understand what that's like to be in a scary situation or a situation that you know is going to be so hard. Like it can be challenging to tap into that even if you know it exists. It ties into how I feel with the PTSD. Consciously, I know where it comes from. Consciously, I know my doctor's amazing. Consciously, it's great and wonderful. But once you're in the situation, it could be a very different story. And because I've watched myself react in those situations, now I can go, okay, I know that I'm going to struggle to tap into joy in that moment. So what can I do to make it more enjoyable for myself? And see, that's the thing. Diana said, I isolate myself from people and negativity. And I think it's really easy for us to do this. But then I also say to myself, because this is what self does. I also say to myself, what am I missing out on by isolating? And am I keeping myself from things that I need to do by shutting myself away from it? And then sometimes life is just life. And sometimes we have to deal with people that we're not on the same page with. It just happens that way. We all eventually have to go somewhere where maybe we don't necessarily want to go. We can go to like the grocery store and come across somebody that's just in a really bad mood. And it just is what it is, you know? And yes, I am full of mushrooms today, 100%. Patrick hooked us up yesterday, you guys. Okay, so this is what we got. I'm going to digress from the conversation for a moment because it makes me comfortable. I got lion's mane yesterday. I got blue oyster mushrooms. I got gray oyster mushrooms. I got hen of the woods or maitake and chicken of the woods mushrooms, which I've never tried chicken of the woods before. I've had maitake, but not chicken of the woods. And what else did I get? Oh, we got some mushroom jerky. I did get some pea sprouts, I think. And I'm missing something. I think I did get something else, but anyway, I do have all the mushrooms this morning now. So I'm excited to cook those up. It's gonna be super yummy, super yummy. It's okay not to be okay because we are a million other worthy things like joy. And I wasn't gonna do this, but I wasn't gonna do it, but I think I'm gonna do it anyway. I see that phrase poking around a lot. It's okay not to be okay. And I understand the sentiment of it. I think that encouraging people to go through what they're going through at the time is valid. And I think the challenge for me with it is that I've seen so many people get stuck in being okay, not being okay. Does that make sense for everybody? I've seen so many, I'm just going to repeat it again. I have seen so many people that I love get be okay with not being okay for a long, long, long time. Now, that may be their journey. It may be we just we need to wash our hands of it sort of situation. But for me, I think um I would phrase it for me that it's okay for me to go through things. And I like saying like that because to go through something for me feels more in alignment than to be something. We were talking about last week in Soul Saturday Morning Coffee about our language uh, that we use and the importance of when we're notice how when I was sharing about PTSD, I didn't say my PTSD, my anxiety, my depression, my health, whatever. So, and every now and then when I catch myself, I will change that around because I don't want to be it. I don't want to claim it as mine, if that makes sense. And so, um, for me, it's okay for me to go through things, but it's not okay for me to just sit in it. So I always kind of like I understand the sentiment of it, but I always cringe literally every time I see that because I'm like, I get it, but I just have known so many people over time that have gotten stuck in that. Well, it's okay for me to not be okay, so I'm just not going to do the work. I'm just not going to try. I'm just going to sit in it for however. And then they're upset because their life isn't what they want it to be. And so I always have to ask myself, I'm talking about me here, if this is something that I need to sit in for a little while or I need to move through, which I think is important for me. Um let's see. These are lessons, some are harder than others. That's it. That is it. Chicken of the woods is so so meaty. I'm excited to have it today. I'm gonna make it teriyaki. I think it's gonna be yummy. When isolating myself from people, I get more work done and learn self-control or learning yourself all around and just knowing your worth. Yeah, it can be helpful. It can be helpful. Um, I also understand what you mean. It's also like fake it till you make it moment, which I've also done. I think any of these sayings, whether it's okay not to be okay, fake it till you make it. I think what I've noticed in my own life, because I'll just speak for myself here, what I've noticed in my own life is that each of these phrases has value for a short period of time for me. Like it's like, oh, okay. But then like Rhonda's saying, don't become the label, right? Like we don't need to sit in it. I just call it kind of sitting in it. So that's how I see it. Try to be open-minded to those I love or people I hurt, even spoken out of turn. I just apologize and mean it from the heart, even if they feel that it's not real. That's all you can do. That's it. If you're dirty and sweating, you take a shower. You don't identify as dirt. Oh my gosh. That's not oversimplified. That's so good, Rhonda. You get a shower. If you are dirty and sweating, you don't go, well, I'm just dirty and sweaty. You go and take a shower and you do something about it. You could sit in it for a minute and it's not that big of a deal, but if you sit in the dirty sweaty for a long time, what happens? You have run the risk of getting sick. You run the risk of being even more dirty and sweaty. You run the risk of people not wanting to be anywhere the hell around you. So, I mean, if that's your goal, by all means, sit in the dirty and sweaty. But it could be perceived as an oversimplification, but I think that's a great visual to and a a great circumstance to kind of evaluate this and go, we're not going to sit in this. We're going to do something about it. So all of that little that little side road that we took, and thank you, Brittany, for sharing that phrase, it's okay not to be okay, because I do think it's important to talk about that, the phrase, because it can be taken a lot of different ways. It really can. And I worry sometimes about these phrases. And you know who got me started on this ish is Ferran Dozier. Ferran Dozier, my co-host for Beyond 2D, that we're always evaluating words and phrases, and I think it's important to ask ourselves, what is the meaning of that phrase for you? And for me, that phrase for me, not for me, and that's okay. It could absolutely work for somebody else, and that's fine too, but I would encourage you not to sit in it. But my whole point to all of this ranting today is to remind you to lean in and pair things with joy. If there's something that you don't enjoy doing, if there's something that when you think of doing those things, you go, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. I'm not going to like this at all. First of all, I would be like, why are you judging things? Because I ask myself that all the time. But pair it with joy. Do it with something that is going to bring you joy. If you hate washing the dishes and you love music, blast some music and sing while you're washing the dishes. Pair things with other things that bring you joy, and it'll help you tap into that joy that always existed inside you. We'll be right back after this.
On April 4th, I was 90 years old, grandson of slaves. My parents were first generation free. A long time ago, I embraced the definition of love. Love is the experience of well-being. And a friend is one who mutually shares that experience of well-being with you, which opens up almost infinite creative possibilities.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Super excited to be here with you today, this beautiful Friday, September 20th, 2024. Hope you are doing well today. My internet's a little wonky in the moment, but it should be coming back now. And so I saw Brittany was sharing about her meaning for it's okay not to be okay. And I think for me, I just stick by the phrase, what are you claiming? what are the question, not the phrase, what are you claiming? What are you claiming? So if I'm saying that I'm not okay, that doesn't feel, that doesn't feel good to me at all. So any of these phrases, if you like, you kind of notice, like I close my eyes, I put my hand over my heart space and just kind of feel how it feels to me. For me to say is I'm not like, I don't like that. I don't like how that feels at all. So I'm just, if there's a phrase for somebody out there, just see how it feels to you. And that's that. That's all I'll say about that. With all of that, it is birthday time. Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating today in the world of celebrity. Rapper Young Jock, 44 years old today. Philip Phillips, do you guys remember him? He was on American Idol. I don't know what season, but it was a long time ago. Philip Phillips. I'll never forget his name though, because my husband's name is Philip, but then it's rare to hear names like that where you're like George's or Philip Phillips, 34 years old today. Actor Gary Cole, 68 years old today. You might remember him from the Brady Bunch movie, as well as the film Office Space, amongst other things. In the celebrities in my life, Wendy Russell she was an amazing guest on the Breakthrough Show several seasons ago, had a birthday. Wayne Holcomb, that I used to sing with back in the day, had a birthday. Tomorrow, my cousin Joanne Solt Smith has a birthday, and one of the Kevin Kiley's producers, and he's also been on the show. He was involved in the musical Evening of Giving with his band Half Hearted. Sean Dalkey has a birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. And let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Young Jock, Philip Phillips, Gary Cole, Wendy Russell, Wayne Holcomb, Joanne Solt Smith, and Sean Dalkey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. I hope you are set up to have an amazing day. We have a great day here for you on the Breakthrough Show Network. We have virtual co-working happening at 9:55 a.m. Eastern Time in our virtual community. All of our events, you can go to the breakthroughshownetwork.club or the breakthroughshownetwork.com, but it's just one extra click to get to the club. But you can join our virtual community at any time. Come and check out the events. They are free to attend. Anything that is a cost will have a cost on our calendar, but so many of our events are free of charge, and we invite you to come and check things out. Co-working happening today, though, 9:55. We work from 10 to 12 together, and it's going to be a great morning. We're going to be productive and get things done, and it's going to be amazing and wonderful. Coming up this weekend, we have Soul Saturday Morning Coffee tomorrow morning. We have 9:30 a.m. Eastern in our virtual community. We have an all-new episode of Spirit Sessions coming up on Sunday. It's a great weekend, and we have a great week next week, too. I hope you guys are set up to have an amazing weekend, and I encourage you to remember that you are the joy. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you as well to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
I've been lifting myself up, yeah, I've been climbing.